क्या इसके आगे कुछ नहीं है? इसके आगे कुछ नहीं है?
इसके पीछे आगे.
Okay. Some people are getting further and further away. Dipesh ji, where is Dipesh ji? We should not have a row behind this. You know, for me it is difficult to see you face to face. Unless I see you face to face, I do not know whether I am able to communicate or not able to communicate. So I have to keep looking at each one of you, look at your face, whether it is getting communicated, not getting communicated. And if you are left behind at one point, then it becomes very difficult to, catch again. आ जाइए तो अच्छा ही है. विनय जी आगे आ जाइए, पीछे रो को फ्री. Begin with exercise 1. Exercise 1 is about observing oneself by oneself, right? First 3 steps, in fact first step is the most important step, okay? I am being aware of myself. Till now we were aware of all things around, right, except ourselves. Now we are saying let us begin by being aware of our own self. So 3 things are said here. Be aware. Once we are aware of ourselves, we try to observe our imagination, which includes desire, thought, expectation. And third point is that without any reaction. This is very significant. Only when I am at the place of pure observer, I can look at things, observe things without reaction. If I am operating with my sanskar, then I am likely to react. So this no reaction is a very strong condition which you should keep in mind. So I am being aware of myself, I am observing my own imagination. 2. Third, I am not reacting. Whatever is there in the imagination, I am just observing it. Whatever is there in my imagination, I am just observing. Is that clear? Step 1 is clear to everyone, or there is any doubt?
Should use the left lane, helmet should be wear, ID card should be wear. In that case, immediately my thought was that it is our responsibility, we know that, but through that announcement we are making it. Why it is so? That was going, that time when the announcement came, that is the thought immediately came to my mind. Similarly, when I enter into the lift, first floor, you are reached ground floor. That is every time that announcement has been made, I need to be aware of that I am in ground floor, I am in first floor. But that voice is coming and making us to aware that is in ground floor, that is we are in first floor. That immediately that thought came, why this announcement made? I need to aware of myself. Through that someone is telling I am in ground floor, I am in first floor. Is that necessary? In that time, my thought was going like that. When I am traveling in the lift, that was the thought. When I am entering into the campus, when the announcement made, that was the thought. Is that right? Am I observing that moment?
Yeah. So thought you are observing. Now we have to start observing the feeling. Like when I heard this announcement and I started thinking about over it, what was my feeling? Feeling of relationship, feeling of opposition. Because many of us, might get feeling of opposition. Right?
Was also there. It is my responsibility to be aware of. Why should we announce that? Why these people are? When I am aware of that, I am thinking about others. Why they are not following? If that is the case, coming to my mind, that feeling is in that type of opposition. It's not
Yeah.
in harmony. Why these people are like that? Why should they need this announcement? They can be disciplined, self-disciplined. Like, why this announcement is required?
Yeah. So that is important, That feeling you have, that you have to observe. So when I am observing the imagination, the most important thing in that imagination is the feeling that I have. Okay? Because it is that feeling which will make me happy or unhappy. Right? So step 1 we are saying, let us be aware of ourselves, let us observe our imagination, particularly the feeling, and just observe without any reaction. These 3 things we are doing in step 1. Step 2 we are asking whether the feeling that I have at this moment, whether it is naturally acceptable to me, not naturally acceptable to me. Okay. Step 3 we are asking ourselves that with this feeling that I have at this moment, am I in a state of harmony and happiness or a state of disharmony and unhappiness? Am I comfortable? Am I not comfortable? These are the 3 steps, right? Number 1, I am being aware of myself and I am observing my imagination, particularly observing my feeling without reaction. Step 2, I am verifying whether this feeling is natural, unnatural. Then I am verifying whether I am comfortable with it, uncomfortable with it, happy with it, unhappy with it. These 3 steps are clear to you? Not clear? Clear. Yes.
Um, so I want to ensure that I've understood not reacting and evaluating properly. So once it happened that I saw that there is an opposition, I was aware of it, and I did not try to change it. And I observed it. I wanted to know why, and it stayed there for 3.5 days, and after that, that is gone. Like that opposition was gone. So is that a correct method, or should I try to change that opposition?
Yeah, but if it is staying over for 3 days, then somewhere either the observation is not taking place or evaluation is not taking place, right? This preconditioning is taking over. Otherwise, continuing with a feeling which is not natural cannot go on for such a long time. If it is going on for such a long time, then at one moment I observe and I find it is not worth, right? But next moment my sanskar, my preconditioning takes over, right? And under that preconditioning I have that same feeling again, right? So that is dominating, this preconditioning is dominating over your awareness. Otherwise it will not continue for 3 days, long time, It is difficult to continue even for few seconds. If I am aware, I am observing, I am evaluating without reaction, then it will simply drop down. In fact, you can handle it every moment if you are aware. So one moment is okay, some sanskar became active and you took decision for a wrong feeling, right? Now the moment you become aware of it and you are able to evaluate it properly without reaction, this feeling will not continue. Next moment it will change.
So when you say without reacting, it is outside reaction you're saying?
It is reaction inside. We are not talking about the outside anymore. Exercise 1, no, nothing about outside. It is all about inside. Outside reaction is a very late kind of,
So I have a problem understanding that not reaction now.
Yes, reaction means you see something, for example, you saw that you have a feeling of opposition in you, right? When you evaluate it, you find that it is not the right feeling. Okay. Now you start having a feeling of opposition for this feeling of opposition. You want that it should immediately go. Why is it continuing for 3 days or 2 moments, 3 moments? That feeling that it should not continue and it should go away and it is not going away, that is the reaction.
Yes, so that was not there.
Yeah.
I was comfortable with that let it be. I want to observe this.
Yeah, but if you are able to see and evaluate that it is not a natural feeling, then it will not continue for such a long time. What is happening if it is continuing for 3 days or even for 1 minute, what is happening is that you are observing, finding that it is not natural, right? Next moment your sanskar takes over, you are no more aware, and that sanskar is again, bringing back that feeling. Otherwise it will not continue, there is no use of it. I mean, a feeling of opposition, if I observe it and I see that it is not worth, it is leading to unhappiness, why will I continue with it? It's very interesting, In fact, if you find something wrong outside, you may take time to correct it. When you can see that there is something wrong inside, the moment you see it, evaluate it, it will go. You don't have to do anything for it.
Bhaiya, I'm having one doubt. Here. See, I'm searching something in my inner. I'm having block here and there. I can't find myself what I'm searching, what I need to be. Then how come I can reach my thing? I have a doubt.
What is your name?
Preeta.
Preeta. This all you are aware what we are working on? This is all about that. This is all about your question.
I'm trying for even Kumar Bhaiya asked us to close our eyes and think about our things. What we need to map our ideas. But I'm
We need
thinking.
this fan. This fan is needed. Yeah. Yes.
See, I'm doing my things, but I can't find where I need to go and what I need to search. Here and there, blocks are there. I can't find. It is too dark.
Yeah. See, what is happening is that you are not acquainted with yourself. Okay? You have never paid attention to yourself. Now when you start paying attention to yourself, you find everything is so dark, very terrible, horrifying, right? Yeah, all this will happen to begin with. But then keep working on this. You will start finding what is happening inside, right? What is happening inside, whether it is right, not right, whether it is natural, unnatural, whether it is leading to happiness, unhappiness. And one thing is very clear, ultimately we all want continuity of happiness. There is no doubt about that. You have any doubt about it? No. So, where we want to be is very clear. Whether we are there or not there is what we are trying to find out. And if we are there, it is fine. If we are not there, we can find out what is the reason. When you start the process, yes, everything looks very, unknown, very dark. But when you start observing, you can find out what you are, what is your state of being, what is your imagination, what is your feeling, right? What are your sanskar? All that you can find out. It is possible to find out.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste to all. Trying to answer for the Lata ma'am's question. To begin with, this type of announcement we used to hear in the public places just to put the people into the comfort position. That is such type of announcement that we would able
Keep
to
it at a
hear.
distance, little distance.
Yeah, Bhaiya. The airports, metro stations. So still we are aware of what is happening around us. But in spite of this, in spite of that, they are trying to put the public into the comfort level. Maybe this type of announcements they are doing, and this also guide the physically challenged people. And in the lift, they will be aware more than us. But in fact, than us, they are more aware, I hope. And for the blind people, this will be very useful. The lift, the announcements, I hope so, as my observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bhaiya.
Yes, so when you listen to this announcement, you don't have a feeling of opposition. You think that they are helping you. Yes, good. Yes. So step 1, 2, 3, are you able to work on it, or you need any clarification? Anybody needs any clarification regarding step 1, 2, 3? Okay. Step 4, is it clear to everyone that whatever feeling I have at this moment, it is ultimately me who is responsible. Who is responsible for it? Is it clear?
Good morning, sir. I'm Venkatesh. I'm following the steps what you have listed, and since we have attended UHV 1 and 2, coexistence is the priority for every human. So I am adhering to it, and my family is also very much aware of it. As many of them know that I have a Koshala near my home here. And now my area is fully populated. Fully populated in the sense all vacant lands are almost constructed. So the neighbors who settled now near to my Kosala, they want it to be removed. They doesn't want to have Kosala nearby their homes. That even my home is nearby that only, next to that only. But they all try in a group as a community, writing petitions to government and things like that to get this removed. Even collector visited once, since they keep on petitioning, and he has given a clearance that no way it is a hindrance to other people. He is maintaining it in a what way it should be done. I have employed 2 families completely for it. We do everything that is required, and even the cattle is not on the road or near to their home. It's only inside the Kosala. But still, people keep hindering. They try to trouble. They do all sort of things to ensure that Kosala is removed. Now, though I observe all this, I want to be with coexistence. I don't show any sort of hatredness towards them. I don't practice it also. I don't shout at them. I don't yell at them, even though they trouble in all possible way. All are educated. Everyone is working in software industry and companies. but they try to do everything possible. But even then, at moments whenever I think about it, I feel disturbed. So the disturbances from external, I can understand it, but though I am practicing it, I am unable to get rid of that. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So if I study myself properly, I can see that I operate either with my right understanding or I operate with my preconditioning, which is not based on right understanding. And if I am operating with my preconditioning, which is not based on right understanding, then depending upon what is my preconditioning, right, I will do the imagination on the basis of that, right. If that preconditioning has gone wrong, the whole imagination will go wrong. This happens with me, this happens with everybody. So if I can see that, then if somebody is having a wrong imagination and therefore is expressing it as a wrong behavior or work, I will not feel irritated. Right. See, the kind of education we are giving today, it has that preconditioning that human being is the ultimate authority to rule over this whole nature, right. Interestingly, they want milk, but they don't want cows. Okay. Now, this kind of education we are giving. Yes. In fact, smart cities means cow-free cities. Campus is smart campus means there are no cows in the campus. You can keep dogs. Right? I mean, very funny kind of, assumptions we have now. Okay. And this is interesting, if you, there was a serial, by name Chanakya, whether you have seen it or not, I don't know. But one interesting incident is that when this Alexander has come to India and he was trying to, fight and win over. At one place, this army people of the, and it was not a big army, very small army it was. Okay. These people protested. They said, no, we want to go back. We don't want to continue fighting, And there is a discussion going on between Alexander and, this, no, not Porus. Alexander and his army people who want to go back. Alexander is trying to convince them, and they are placing the argument why they don't want to continue here. And one of the strong arguments that they are giving is that we cannot fight with these people who live with animals. This is one of the strong arguments, that these people are living with animals. How can we fight with them? So these assumptions have now become your assumption these days, but it comes from Greeks. So for Alexander and the army, the smart city even then was that, no cows, no animals. For you it was very different. For you, the cows have always been the integral part of your house, right? Family, mother cow. Okay. Now that is the crisis. The kind of education that we are giving today, it presumes that you are not the part of the nature. You are the master of nature. And you can exploit the nature the way you want. Right? You have freedom to have milk without having cows. Okay. Yes? This is the way we think. Yes? You press the button and milk must come. And that machine must look very, beautiful. Yes. So if you understand all this, and you can understand that people work with assumptions, and the assumptions may be wrong, then you will not react to this kind of things. It is good that that collector at least was sensible. I mean, I would say. Yes. Otherwise, he would have said, no cows in the smart city area. That's it. No argument.
They want everything to be in the villages, but they must get things in the city.
They want milk in the city and cows in the villages. Right? Green? Green electric power, yes. In fact, this perception is a very, long kind of struggle going on. I mean, traditionally, if you, look at this fight going on between the Sura and Asur. Sura means one who is in harmony. Sura, harmony. Asur is one who is not in harmony. Okay, so he is always fighting. Now there is a difference in these two approach of life. Okay. So if you try to understand this approach of life of understanding the harmony and being in harmony, through which there is a possibility of continuity of happiness. Of course, those who are of the belief that the life goes not by harmony but by disharmony, by contradiction, by struggle, by fight, by opposition, they think differently because they have different assumptions. The assumptions may be wrong, they may be suffering, for it. But that is what it is. At least I must understand this, and if I understand this properly, I will not react. I will not make myself suffer for the mistake that they are doing. Venkatesh ji, is it clear? So thanks to that collector.
My nature of job is quality control in earlier. For example, in case of any supplier, for example, in case of tin weight is 100 grams, they put 95 grams, I rejected that lot. I'm not negative thing. I want to correct the system. Then slowly everyone says quality control. Then after the 5 years, they can consider as a quality assurance lab. But my ways of thought are going on, which place is wrong. I want to correct the system. For example, if I enter this area, wear the ID card. This is a common fact. Then if you draw something, the fine put in that area. That control the discipline. Here my question is, we want to correct the system, we want to rules and regulation to be followed. Is it correct?
Yeah. So what is it? I mean, what is the question?
My question is finding the fault to the others to maintain the quality.
Yeah. So focus is to maintain the quality or to find the fault?
Maintain the quality.
Yeah.
Quality assurance may be there.
Yeah. So work for the quality.
The specification is there. From the specification, I want to follow that area.
Yeah. So if they are not following it, remind them with a feeling of relationship, not with a feeling of opposition. If you have the feeling of opposition, then you are in trouble. If you have the feeling of relationship, you are okay, comfortable. So if you are not paying attention, I keep reminding you, right? So many times. Okay. So every time I am checking whether you are paying attention or not paying attention. But I am not having a feeling of opposition for that, If you are not paying attention, I can understand you have so many things to pay attention to, right? I am not the only one, or what I am saying is not the only thing, right? So, in fact, many people complain that you repeat same thing so many times. So, I say I repeat it so many times because when I am saying something, I am not sure where you are. You may be sitting here with your open eyes, but you may be somewhere else. So, when I am saying something and you are not here, right, it does not reach you. So, I will repeat 10 times so that at least once you have been able to pay attention to it. So, I am aware of what is happening, but for that I don't have the feeling of opposition. I have that feeling of relationship, and I know what you are possibly, right? And I presume that you can do anything, but I have to be responsible.
Thank
So
you, sir.
you go around anywhere, at least once in 10 times you can, you will happen to hear.
Sir said about the Kosalai and Sir said about the quality assurance. I guess the quality assurance might be it is related to the code of conduct, and the immediate boss or the top management might be, answerable and may take the responsibility to, resolve this. But in terms of what Sir said that Kosalai, and what about his mental harmony, sir? By the way, we are not here to educate them and make them to understand their individual or personal virtue and all. But he has to restrain or maintain his own or his family mental harmony, at least preventing that situation, whatever they are making for them. No? So what is the solution for him to maintain this family level of mental harmony?
What is your good name?
I am Santana Lakshmi, sir. Santana Lakshmi.
What we are focusing here is the harmony inside, okay? Maintaining the quality within. So if we focus there, I think it will be better. Otherwise, we will get lost. These rules, regulations, standards, and all that. Let us find out what is the standard inside, okay? Which feeling is natural, which feeling is unnatural, which feeling leads to harmony and happiness, which feeling does not lead to harmony and happiness. So if we focus it there, it will be good, okay? Yes.
Yeah.
So I am not going to the details of that.
Fine, sir.
Okay. With 1, 2 and 3, if we are able to see our feeling, evaluate it without reaction, and we can see that the feeling of relationship, harmony and coexistence is what leads to happiness, and otherwise feelings are what leads to unhappiness. If we can do that, then the purification of my feeling takes place on its own without I trying to enforce it. This is important, that just by observation and evaluation without reaction, the purification of the feeling takes place, and if there is any wrong feeling, it drops at the next moment. If it is a right feeling, it has continuity. So this will happen by itself. You don't have to enforce. That is one. Step 4, if you have been working on it, by this time you must have realized that whatever feeling that is there in me is something which I have decided, right? It has not come from outside. Some trigger has come from outside. On the basis of that, I might have reflected over it, and based on my understanding or preconditioning without understanding, I have decided for some feeling. But ultimately, I am responsible for the feeling that I have at this moment, and not the other person or the external circumstances. Are you able to see this? Because this is a very important step.
Sir, I have one example. In my institute, my institute awarded as a green campus. Green campus. So they have laid so many trees in the beginning, 1995. It was established. And very nicely, these workshops and all these 30 to 40% space is occupied, and remaining space, plantation and everything is done after 25 years, because I was there since from then. So I have observed, and very beautiful people also feel lot of happiness with the trees and greenery, and students also able to read by sitting under the trees. They have arranged some platforms like that under the trees and everything. So because of the sanction of additional seats of AICT, because of CSC and all branches, allied branches coming forward, and many more number of sections have been sanctioned. So there is no scope for expand in lateral direction, longitudinal direction. So what they have awaited till few years, and they are unable to decide what to do. And what they start doing is cutting all the trees, and the space is occupied, and buildings have been constructed one by one, black by black, black by black. Is it harmony, relatedness they are expressing among the people, because number of seats are increasing and students are coming and learning and growing themselves? Or they are other way around, they are doing some inharmonies for the nature is concerned. So I am unable to decide what should I feel, and I am unable to decide the feelings coming from my heart are, I am able to decide my feelings or not, because I am always in a disturbed mode if I think of that incident, and watching from my eyes since from the beginning. So that is the thing I want clarification.
Yeah, I said these two things I should be able to keep separately. Something happening outside which is wrong, and I having a feeling of opposition for it. You think they are the same thing, or they are two different things? What do you think?
Different.
Different. So I must understand that. I must understand that this college now wants to expand, irregardless of whether it has a space or not. Okay? Then AICT wants some construction, irregardless of whether it is green campus or not green campus. All these are having their own set of assumptions.
Yes.
And they are making the judgment on the basis of their assumptions, which may be wrong. In that case, what do I do? Do I spoil my feeling? Or I continue to have the right feeling and try to work for whatever I can do, in the given circumstances for the improvement. Right? So at least I have to take care of my feeling immediately.
I cannot keep quiet. Since 25 years, I am observing all these and enjoying people and students and myself, and trees, plants and flowerings and everything beautifully I have seen. And once I see the destruction of all these, I am able to...
I can understand your point. I mean, I'm not that I'm not able to understand. But I'm saying that you want to do something for it. But for that, don't have a wrong feeling in yourself and suffer for it. That's all I'm saying. With right feeling also, I can work on it. For example, if I look at things around, I can see that the kind of education we are giving today, right? It is not a right education that we have been talking about. But do I become unhappy about it by spoiling my feeling? Or I do something for it? The whole effort of UHV is essentially trying to improve upon the education that we are giving today. Without reaction, we are doing it. And we can do it. And probably we can do it better without reaction. Yeah. unfortunate thing is that good people, when they find that there is something wrong happening, they get into reaction. They make themselves unhappy, right? And when they are unhappy, they keep reacting outside, and that is taken as opposition. And then we get into a lot of struggle. And in the process, we are not able to do what is right to be done.
Sir, then the moral of this session might be we can take it in this way, like as you said this, I mean, as you pointed out correctly, where we'll have a scope of doing some betterment, we can. Where we are doesn't have any scope to do a betterment, whether at least we just be in ourself itself, and not to over exaggerating what we are unable to do it for the betterment. Isn't it, sir?
Yeah, so what minimum we are saying is at least take care of your feeling. Take care of your state of being.
Yeah.
If you are having the right feeling, right? Feeling of relationship, feeling of harmony, feeling of coexistence, then what will you do? You will try to work out what you can do with that feeling of relationship, right? So if I have this feeling of relationship with all the students who are going through education, then I will think of what to do, to help them. That even if they are going through a wrong kind of education, an inhuman education, can I do some can I be of some help to them? Right? I mean, now once you go through UHV, you realize that it is possible, to do something, at least draw their attention towards the possibilities of what is right. Okay? To be able to see the life in its completeness, right? All those things are possible. Now with this, you don't go about, fighting with everyone that this system is wrong and, it should be immediately closed and all that. Okay? It's not needed. Even this system, which is not giving a right kind of education, is giving you a space to work for right education.
So better we explore any alternative or identify any, any things, rather spending much time with that unsolvable things. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I am saying that at least don't have feeling of opposition. Don't suffer for it. What Gupta ji is saying, Srinivas, right? Srinivas ji is saying is, he is suffering. I am saying don't suffer. You do not suffer. You have the feeling of relationship, be comfortable, then see what you can do, then you will be able to work out a better solution, and you will not suffer at least.
Correct, sir.
Okay, so this 4 step is that I am responsible for my feeling, and if I want to take the right decision about my feeling, then step 6 is very important. Look and check for yourself which feeling is naturally acceptable to you, feeling of relationship or opposition. Which feeling is naturally acceptable? Relationship. Feeling of harmony or disharmony? Harmony. Coexistence or struggle? Coexistence. This you must keep checking every time. And if you are able to come to this conclusion that it is the feeling of relationship, feeling of harmony, feeling of coexistence that is naturally acceptable to you, then you can get back to, step 1, 2, 3. Okay. Get back to step 1. Be aware every moment, look at your feeling, evaluate that feeling, whether it is in accordance with relationship, harmony and coexistence, or not in accordance with relationship, harmony and coexistence. That is what is exercise 1. All 7 steps can be merged into this. I am aware every moment, I am looking at my imagination, I am looking at my feeling, and I am evaluating whether it is in accordance with relationship, harmony and coexistence or otherwise, whether it is leading to happiness or unhappiness. If I do this much, all your self-purification will take place. on its own. You don't have to struggle, don't have to fight. In a very natural manner, the self purification is going to take place. Your evolution is going to take place, your happiness is going to increase, and all that, that is desirable. So this is exercise 1 put together.
Yes, Bhaiya.
With this,
Yes.
yeah.
So, according to the exercise 1 and the very first point, everywhere we talk about the desire, thought, expectation and observe, etc. When you get up early in the morning, nowhere Thanksgiving note, I am not able to observe it here, because gratitude, that is the word, we have it in this UHV. But whenever we get up, a new day God has given us, the before past, that is the before day, He had been with us for the whole day. Why don't, as human beings, everyone should thank for the life that He has given it. And the new day, let His guidance be there with us. Nowhere I am able to see that gratitude or the Thanksgiving note, whatever may be the things, either Inshallah or Lord Shiva or Jesus or whatever it is, the thing, or Buddha or whatever it is, we should be grateful that we are alive. One more new day has been given to us in spite of all difficulties. And that will bring acceptance, that will bring peace within us, that will bring harmony within ourselves. Because we talk about farmers every time. I'm able to hear the examples in UHV introductory 2 and etc. Farmers, they are working. Without they put their legs and hands and the physical part inside the paddy fields, we don't get the food. Yeah, every moment before having the breakfast, dinner or whatever the eatables we have, just a moment. Few practice it. Few of the human beings, they practice it. Just thanksgiving, for this food that has been given without any poisonous nature, etc.
Yeah, these kind of reminders are useful. But if you look at what is being said here, is that I must be able to see that this whole existence is in the form of coexistence, in the form of harmony, in the form of relationship, number 1. Number 2, I must become that. Coexistence, harmony and relationship every moment. That becomes my feeling, right? That becomes my expression, right? So I become one with this coexistence, harmony and relationship. That is ultimately what is being, said every time. Okay, reminding that there is coexistence, reminding that there is harmony, reminding that there is relationship is good thing. If people are not reminded of it, they may not even pay attention to it. So it is good to set those reminders. They are welcome. But those reminders are so that you ultimately sublimate into this. This is what you become, right? You become the coexistence, you become the harmony, you become the relationship, right? Every moment you have that feeling, every action of you is in line with coexistence, harmony and relationship. That will ensure continuity of happiness for you, and it will work for the happiness and well-being of everyone. That is what is being said. So morning reminders are fine, evening before going to sleep if you remind, it is fine, but you should be that all the time, every moment, in continuity. That is what is being said. So many of these traditions, if you look at what we were discussing that day, all religions basically are trying to draw your attention towards this. in order to draw their attention, they have some symbols, right? Some, words, some processes. But ultimately, what is the idea? To remind you of this, to draw your attention towards this, so that you understand this and you be this. Unfortunately, in place of understanding this and being this, we hold on to those symbols and fight with those symbols. So we ourselves don't realize, and we are not helping the others to realize, but we think that those symbols are important and my symbol is better than the symbol of the other. Those 2-3 experiences that they, shared. Now the problem is not with Hanumanji or Shiva or Christ. The problem is with us. We are not trying to understand what they are trying to signify, right? And we want them to do our work, and then we are fighting who is the great hero. Okay. So, but if you understand what they are trying to say, indicate, and be with that, then will make our life better and help to make the life of the others better. So those reminders are useful, but then you should become that. That is the basic idea. So when you say be in the kingdom of God and everything else will be added unto it, you have to understand what is being in, in the kingdom of God. And this is what we are saying. This is being in the kingdom of God. Being in coexistence, harmony and relationship. Right? That is the kingdom of God.
Yes.
And if that is there, you are happy all the time and you are working for happiness of everyone else.
Then what is the meaning of love? It is not in, I'm not talking about in fluctuation or etc. What is the meaning of love?
Being in relationship with everyone, having a feeling of relationship for everyone, that is the love. Compassion is expressing that feeling of love, relationship to everyone, that is compassion. And what is truth? That coexistence. Understanding of the coexistence, that is truth. So truth, love, compassion. Understanding the coexistence, harmony and relationship, that is truth. Having the feeling of coexistence, harmony and relationship, that is love. Expressing that feeling of coexistence, harmony and relationship is compassion. Isn't it? And we must have that. And all these religions are trying to remind us of that. So those reminders are good, but that should become, the whole life for us. Rajul ji, can we move to exercise 2 पर कुछ काम करना है अभी? Do we have
able to understand exercise 1, step 1, 2, 3. So at that moment, I am able to feel that I was having the feeling of ego, and at that moment, I am able to correct it. But the next time, it also gets repeated, Bhaiya. At that moment, I am able to set it right. It is not set it right forever. Again, the same moment comes, again I have to evaluate.
Yes. Because we have accumulated so many of preconditionings without being aware of them, right? And that at this moment your awareness is not that strong. Therefore what happens, at this moment I am aware, I am looking at my feeling, I am evaluating it, and when I evaluate it, it gets right, gets corrected. But then next moment I am still again unaware. And when I am unaware, another preconditioning becomes active and it takes over. So that will go on happening, because so much we have accumulated. Therefore we need, for thousands of association with the body, you keep on accumulating, and this body also some 40 years, 50 years, we have accumulated so much of this sanskar, this preconditioning. So you have to work with them. It will take time. We'll have to work with them.
Bhaiya.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to work with this exercise 1 and 2, already Umesh ji has mentioned, if we have joined morning session from 5:30 to 6:30 in English and 6:30 to 7:30 in Hindi, it is quite useful because whole lot of work has to be done. It will not be solved immediately because you have lot of this sanskar earned by you. That is what you are earning all through life, and you want to now set it right, so it will take time. Okay, how many of you have not been to this morning session? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay, unless there is something very difficult for you to do it, we would recommend that you can join through it, and it is online, so you have all the flexibility. Okay, I mean sometime you cannot hear, it's fine, but most of the time you can hear through with your phone and Bluetooth and all those things already have been discussed. So I will recommend that if you can possibly do it, do that, because it needs lot of kind of effort on your part to work with yourself, because you have done so much in unawareness and accumulated so many of preconditioning that you do not know what all you have accumulated, right? And that only you can know. Yes.
Shall I continue, Bhaiya? Namaste, Bhaiya. Here.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Janani ji, yes.
Not Janani, Sumati. Sumati. Yes, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, trying to answer for Geeta Ka's question.
Don't answer others' question. Leave it to me.
No, just okay. Let me give an example. I'll try to answer her, Bhaiya. So that in continuation with your explanation, Bhaiya, that is the deep-rooted sanskar we used to say. Suppose if we take a banyan tree, if we cut all the branches, under the favorable situation, the tree will again grow. That is the similar happens within each and everyone, not only with Geeta Ka. Yes. So since we are trying to cut it and again cut, but since the root is there, so because of the deep root, we could not come out of that egoistic problem. So under some favorable condition, again it will grow. So that is the thing which we have got into the loop. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you for giving me time. Nice, Bhaiya.
Well, I thank you and love the way you call my name. Beautifully you call my name. Only one person in my department call my name beautifully. He will call me Janani ma'am. His name is Rohit sir. Whoever call, no, I don't like the way they call. But he calls beautifully. They will call, hey Janani, hey where are you, hey, like that. Different names they will call. I think I am like a pickle in the department for everyone. Pickle, whoever like they will touch and eat, na? Like that I am a pickle in the department. Okay, they have lots of affection, that I know, because during the struggle, my struggle, they had prayers and that time they were helping me, that I know. But the way to call the name, yesterday when you call, it remembered me, Rohit sir. How beautifully you used to call. So sweet you are. The way you call my name, I like it really. Next thing, till now I was imagining nature means going outside. I love to go to mountain region only. I don't like to be in this city and all. I used to tell in home for the past 2-3 years, better I would have born for a family in mountain region. So with the parrots, birds, everything, I will be happily staying there. Rather than this city life, by mistake God made me born in this family. Okay, and by mistake God made me to marry and all see all the problems in the family. So instead I could have been there, born for a saint, roaming there in the mountain. I actually thought nature is observing outside only hills, okay, beautiful places. Places I mean is tree, shrub, everything. These are the common thing which I like from childhood. But that is not that alone. Nature is how you understand yourself and respond to other. When I'm able to get happiness by seeing a green thing, a greenery thing, and get happiness in my mind, why am I not able to get happiness by seeing a fellow? So I want to change that irritation limit in my mind. Every time I will be irritated. If you ask me second time, I will be irritated. But I have asked 100 questions to you. You never get irritated. Yeah, I am amazed. Today morning also I am telling to my mother and my husband, they are living actually. Supraja madam used to tell, they are living the way. I ask her how it is possible. But when I come in person and observe only, I can find that you people are living in the way you teach us UHV. Seriously. Yeah, really hats off to awesome to you. It's a good, I want to give appreciation. Applause to them. Don't even expect this applause. I know that. Yeah. Because in my life, I love to see nature. I want to sleep. That is the main ambition in my life. My life is going like that. But that irritation limit, yeah, yesterday night also I got irritated with student. Then I said, sorry. I told you, I promised you I will change. But that, as madam said, that ego or something, what it is, I don't know. How it is bursting out from the inside, I do not know. Then I said the student, sorry. Then I said, thanks. Okay. Yesterday I fought with my mother. Then night I cried. I told her sorry. Suddenly. Then because yesterday fully you were coming in my mind. Yeah. Yeah, teaching. So how we need to change. So when I keep on thinking how to change with this UHV, slowly I can change.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
I don't react because I don't want to lose my happiness. So if you realize this, you will also not lose your temper, and not react. Because one thing I am sure that you don't want to lose your happiness. But if you can see this relationship, yes.
Sir, actually Nancy ma'am and Santana Lakshmi ma'am, they were telling no, like two different relationship between two different backgrounds and how they are having fight in the family. But I am from the same caste, same family itself, my husband. But still, like I was brought up in a manner that girls are very strong. My mom used to tell always, and I was brought up in that way. My mom brought up me to be a very strong girl. Just imagine, I have a brother. Whenever my brother comes home late, my mom will keep him out of the house, as someone said. She'll just keep him out of the house, question him, and then only send him inside. But whenever I am late to home, she'll tell Ayu, she's very late, she might be very tired, let me go for the preparation of coffee, like that. So it was like, I was grown up like that. And after my friendship with some of my close friends, I had a few principles for me. If I get married to someone, I will not give dowry, being a girl. So every day I am fighting with this societal problem only. So I kept up that, and till today I don't give my salary to my husband, and I have not given any dowry, and I have not even got a penny from my mom's house. So that is how I am living myself. The thing is, being many of them here, you have given your daughters in marriage. You know how much it is difficult to give her in marriage, giving dowry. So the thing is, though my husband, my first message to my husband when they came in approach to marriage was, I will not give dowry. I know it is going to create a big disaster in my life. Still I told I will not give dowry, I'll not give my salary, and I'll not move from my place. I want to be with my parents only. So with these conditions, and at that time itself I wanted people with right understanding only to come to me. So with the right understanding, he came to me even before UHV. Because my mom, even without UHV, all these things which we study here, she used to tell, and I know, I just used to understand, but still, in a deeper manner, I understand here only. So why I was telling here is, though my husband took me, like with the right understanding, he came to me, but often we have a fight. Whenever someone tells him, my wife came with this much money, my wife came with this much thing. And to note, actually, I am from a very rich background. Still, I don't want to give anything, money or anything to anyone who wants to be with me. If they want only my money, then I don't want them to be with me. So this is my principle. And I have seen many cases wherein because of this dowry, their lives have gone like anything. So this thing, and what I believe is, only if we start changing, we can change the society. So what I am about to ask is, though we are traveling in a right understanding mode, often when a stimulation is from outside, maybe through, as everyone said, through my mother-in-law. So once again, my mother-in-law is a very sweet person, but still, some cases, when someone calls and talks to her, she'll tell, her daughter-in-law, she came with 100 sovereigns. See, my case. But beyond all this, she has one more daughter-in-law and a daughter too. But she strongly believes that anything happens to her, even if her son is going to not take care of her, her daughter-in-law, myself, will take care of her, and she is having a strong belief in that, and she has the, I'm proud to say, amongst everyone else, other daughter-in-law, even in other than daughter, she has more affection on me. Whatever I ask for, she will do for me. And her daughter is, in fact, having a grievance for that. She used to tell, she is doing for you, not for the daughter, like that and all. So beyond all this, if they have any stimulation from outside, they'll talk. We are, see, you, though we married you only based on your properties and other things, but nothing to do with that. Simply coming, simply your, like that, that thing, at least once in a month, we will have this fight. So how to, though I don't react, but I slowly respond. After some time, I will explain them. But how long? Throughout the life, do we have to be responding alone? When will they go into that feel of right understanding? At the end, my husband will conclude, I don't want anything, I want only you. Okay, fine. But still, if that is there purely, he will not ask me the next time, right? He or my mother-in-law, they will not ask me the next time. So when will they come to that feeling of right understanding? So if I'm not even able to change my own people, when I am going to change the society?
The most difficult thing is to change oneself. You know. So interesting, that day before yesterday there was few sharings, and the focus was of the sharing was that because we belong to two different backgrounds, there are a lot of problems. Okay. But interestingly, the three sharings had three different backgrounds. Okay. Problem was common. Okay. And what she is also saying, that see, the issue is not the background. The issue is that we are not able to strike at the right thing. What is your name? Bhuvaneshwari. M. Bhuvaneshwari, right? Yes. There was a D. Bhuvaneshwari and we were not able to locate this M. Bhuvaneshwari. Now we are able to locate. it takes time, this 8 days is a less time for the workshop like this, because slowly people start opening up, It takes 4 days, 5 days, yes, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days to open up, And it is a process, Slowly it starts working, You are able to, look into yourself, get some idea about yourself. Somewhere you feel stuck, and then slowly you become comfortable with so many people sitting around. All this is a process which is going on. So we need more time. But good, now we are able to identify M. Bhuvaneshwari ji. So how much time will it take for them to realize? It may take any amount of time. Right? If we start working with ourselves, we will realize that it may take any amount of time. Because when we start working with ourselves, we realize that so much of it, preconditioning we have accumulated, and we are being governed by those preconditionings, which we are not even aware of it. Same thing with the other, whether my husband or my mother-in-law or whoever it is, right, my friend. So if I work with myself, I realize how much difficult it is for me to work for myself, and it may be equally difficult for the other. Then I will become more patient, about the other as well. Okay. Till now we have been talking about the human being. You remember module 3 we were focusing on understanding the human being, and that is what was, what we were doing till the last lecture. Now we want to switch over to this understanding nature and existence. We have already talked about it, but now we will recollect some of what we have already talked about, and certain things which have to be, investigated at this juncture of time. So lecture 16 we are trying to look at existence as coexistence, and if you look at the whole background, this already we have talked about, right? These three things: basic human desire and how it is fulfilled by right understanding, right feeling and right thought, the resolution, and what this resolution is. And first part of that resolution is having clarity about right understanding. And when you say right understanding, three things: knowledge of human being, knowledge of existence, and knowledge of human conduct. Till now we have been talking about knowledge of human being, right? Now we can deliberate over this knowledge of existence. This process of knowing is awakening to the activity of contemplation, understanding and realization. So to be able to see the relationship, the harmony, the coexistence